Hey chat, how are you? Releases a wary exhale. So we're at the grocery outlet, bargain market, and we see that they have Cool Whip, bottles of Cool Whip for $1. And I was like, okay, bet. Carolyn immediately grabbed 3 bottles because the thing with the gross out, if you see something, you best buy it. You best buy a lot of it because it could be gone that day. It could be gone the next day. And I've returned about a box of crackers or whatever. I'm like, I'm going to go back tomorrow and get another box of crackers. Go back the next day, gone in the blink of an eye. So this Cool Whip bottle was $1. Normally almost $3 at the Walmart. So Carolyn grabs 3 bottles and we check out, ring up, whatever, it goes fine. Then I'm checking the receipt later, which I got from my mom, Grandma Tien, who does it obsessively. But because I don't know the price of every single thing on the receipt. But the fact that Carolyn went out of her way to grab 3 bottles, she's like, these are $1. I was like, ooh. Checked on Walmart. They were almost $3. I was like, oh, it's a good buy. It's a good buy. So I knew that they were $1 or supposed to be $1. But I go over the receipt and lo and behold, $2.50. And I was like, okay, this is egregious. This is too much. I'll head back over there. I had an Amazon return to do later that day, and I said, I'll go by myself. No worries. And I've done this before. The gross out, known for expired food, also known for not having the best pricing strategy. Sometimes things will be wrongly priced, higher. I don't know if it's lower, or there's just no price tag at all. So I was like, okay. Should have been $1. We were charged $2.50, $1.50 times 3, $4.50. That's enough to go back. If it was like 20 cents, well, gas, and how much is my personal time with? I could be home solving cancer, but I'm going to go wrangle over 20 cents. I don't think so. I have better things to do. So I walk in and I go back to the dairy section to see, just to make sure. And lo and behold, yeah, price tag, $1. I was like, all right, I'm armed. I'm ready to go. Walk up to the cashier. It's Carla. And I point to the spots on the receipt where it says $7.50. And I said, this should be $3. And so I'm deemed to be refunded $4.50. And she was like, okay. And she starts click, click, click. Well, first she calls the manager over because the manager needs to approve a refund. Okay. Manager, come on over. Manager, come on over. Okay. Manager starts moseying her way over. Carla starts pressing buttons. Click, click, clack, clickety, clack, clack, clack. And then I look up at her screen. She looks like she's done. I look up at her screen. It says $1.50. And I said, whoa, that's cool. That's the correct amount, but we bought 3 of them. And by this time, the manager had showed up. Another gal just standing right behind Carla. And I was like, it should be $4.50 because it's $1.50 difference. We bought 3 of them, so it should be $4.50. And there was just $1.50, the figure on her cashier screen that the customer can see. And so right away, she switches moods and she turns around to her manager and she says, he has a problem with what I'm doing, so I'm going to avoid this transaction and you can take care of him. And I was like, okay, lady, simmer down. She got upset at me or something. I don't understand. I was just trying to be accurate. Yeah, the $1.50 is right, but we bought 3. And if she had just taken a few more seconds to hear me out and think about it, she could have done the math. It's super easy. 15 times 3, 45. So she voided the transaction. Boop, 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 boop. I was like, okay, I guess this is the end of that. Walk over manager takes me over to a different aisle, and I explain it to her. She's like, "Oh, okay." Gives me $4.50 and change. But I was like, "Oh no, Carla's mad at me." And when Carla's mad at me, that means she's mad at Carolyn, because I believe that's in our wedding vows that Marshall Phillips made us recite. When a supermarket cashier is mad at you, he's mad at both of you, or she's mad at both of you. And as Danny DeVito said in Twins, you mess with me, you mess with my whole family. So I get my $4.50 back, and still uneasy with Carla. So I go over to her and I'm like, "Hey, can you talk for a second?" I pull her out to a Harbor Boulevard, where West Sacramento's finest hookers traverse, and I get some quality time with her, and I said, "Listen, I just need some space. Let's take some time apart. I know you're mad at me, and that's fine, but we just need, you can call it a break if you want to call it a break, but you should see other customers, and I should see other cashiers. And if it was meant to be, we'll end up back together." Wi-Fi went out again. We got the Verizon 5G home internet, something or other, whatever it's currently branded as. $50 a month, and it's normally really good. It's been a year plus, perfect, 100%. But in the past month, it's gone out the entire day for 2 days. So in order to discuss things as a family, I went out to the beach. I grabbed a conch, I brought it back, and we passed it around so we could talk individually, like in Lord of the Flies. We all wore fur, like in the Flintstones. I grew a beard, changed my name to Zog, which is a caveman name, but also the name of one of the bad guys in the Chris Reeve Superman, the guys who wore all leather. Got it down quick. By my 8th buffalo, I could draw that sucker in 45 seconds flat. It was like the caveman Geico commercial around here. But I did hop on the Verizon chat because I wanted to I've heard you can do this. Like if your internet's down, your Wi-Fi's down, whatever, you go to customer service and you say, "I didn't have internet that day, so can you prorate my bill?" So I was like, all right, I'm going to hop on the Verizon chat and see if they can prorate my bill. And typical chat these days, when the customer service rep signs on, they're like, "How are you? My name is Jason. How are you doing today?" "Well, I was doing just dandy until I hopped into this Verizon chat box message thing." But explain what's going on. It's just such sympathy. Really, they felt my pain. And then the customer service reps via chat these days, they get too touchy-feely. They get it gets a little weird. This particular customer service rep said, "I want you to feel heard and valued while under my care." Smiley emoticon. And I was like, "Oh, I feel heard, but I don't feel seen, Jason. And am I valued under your care? What are you, a nurse? Is this nurse Verizon?" And then the other thing he or she said, I have no idea. They said, "I want to fill every gap for you." And I was like, wow, this is real customer service. Oh, should I call the cops and bust myself for this massage I'm getting? Okay, I think I'm done. Take care. Brush your hair. Peace out. I'm Audi 5000 G Money. Gotta go. Late. See ya. Fiend.